Live. He's on live. Whoop, we didn't have any sound. I had to cut that down. I had to make a few adjustments on my screen. You know, when you have so many things going on, it's like, it could be a headache. Anyway, welcome to another episode of LANCESCURV Live. I'm glad you're here. We're going to talk about crabs in the barrel. Does low self-esteem fuel crabs in the barrel? Yes, it does. And it's a whole lot of other things. Let me clear off of these tabs. I'm just so not used to working with this Apple computer, but I love it so much. Go into the comment section and see what we have here. I see a very interesting comment. Curtly, how are you doing? I always had that taught. A lot of issues could be fixed if people just had more confidence. Fear fuels aggression. A lot of passive aggressive people with crab mentality. You're so right. It just never seems to end. And we understand when we say crab in the barrel mentality, there are a lot of people who have an issue with that terminology, right? But I don't, because it's true. Some people are out of the barrel and have the crab in the barrel mentality because they don't want to see anybody else do good. They don't want to see them do well. And a lot of people are in the barrel. And lots of times you have some people in the barrel who can sometimes be positive. Denise Horn, how are you? You're over on the Facebook side of things. Come on over to LANCESCURV on YouTube so we can vibe with everybody else in the chat room. There's never too much traffic on Facebook for me. Facebook has never been a really friendly place. For me, I get a lot of weird spam, crazy stuff, but a few people that I know and love. And also we have our new Cash App down in the lower right-hand corner. For those who have been asking me, I have it set up now. I'm so proud to have it set up. The other ones are not any good anymore. And I'm just so glad. And I thank you all for your donations that I've received. And as soon as I, opened it up, boom, here it came. Thank you. Thank you so much. I promise to make better shows. I think I'm going to try to adjust this background here. I look a little fuzzy going on over here. Let me see if I can pull it up a little bit. So much. The other night we had a show and the winds came by and the storm came through and that was a wrap. Put this light on here and see if that makes any difference. Nope, that made it worse. That made it worse. Okay, how about that? 1, 2, 3, 4. When I start sweating and using this towel, y'all, you know what that means. It's hot. And it's not just hot only for the weather. It's hot because of the lights. Let me get a little closer here. Yes. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Time waits on no one, and I still have to take care of myself. And I have not even been taking care of myself as I should. I've been sleeping terribly, although I know better. Last night, or really this morning, I went to bed, for me, my time, 8 o'clock, which is 5 hours ahead of the East Coast. So, April comes, I'm turning 60. After I turn 60, I'm not saying anything about my age anymore. I'll just say I'm 70 and just stick with that until I'm 90 or 100. We play them numbers games, right? But yeah, when you have insecurity, when you have those who don't feel as though they can accomplish much, and that's sad because I've noticed that many of the people who are so talented have this thing about low self-esteem going on with them. I mean, talented people, but they know they can do better, but they know it's something else holding them back, and they just can't figure it out. And when they do figure it out, lots of times, it's like, I'm not going to say it's too late, but for many, they feel it's too late. The frustration builds, it eats away at them. They get into the substances, hopefully not, or just drowning in this thing of living in the past. Whenever you know that you can do something, many who are in the barrel are not going to like you. When you know that you can do something, it's not cockiness, it's a knowing. And this has to be trained into your thinking. This has to be wired into you, because there are a lot of grown people who, like I said, have great talents and abilities, but they don't know in themselves. I'm not going to say believe in themselves, but they don't know. They don't have that confidence. And I have to thank my parents again. It sounds corny sometimes because I keep bringing them up, but no, I'm going to always give them the props. These things start from young. You can still become confident after coming up in a negative environment or where you're beat down as far as your esteem is concerned, but you have to come through that. And unfortunately, from what I see, very few come through that. They struggle with that their whole lives. And by the time they're there to have a little confidence, they're up in years. It's a lifelong struggle. So you have to be careful, parents and older folks who are over children. Yes, AA Vibes, how are you? Yes, I'm glad you're here. I'm glad everybody's here. There's a few people here, and I put the word out there, but there's a lot of other things to look at out here. Most people look at the show after it's up, so I don't really look at the numbers. And I notice now, from what I see, the shadow banning has begun again. That upward trajectory that I have is kind of leveling off, and soon it's going to go back down. But that doesn't even stop me, because I'm confident, right? There are other platforms out here, this particular show. And yes, I'm glad. Thank you. Yeah, I keep swinging. And I'm on other platforms, and there are other things on the offshoot that I will do here. You see, I was always taught that, and I don't like to use the word problem, but I'll say it for the sake of the folks who don't think of it any other way. But every problem has a solution, right? So you just have to figure out the solution. There's nothing that, let me see what you said, brother. Yeah. And I want that light for everybody, but they will try you, because it's like they see the light inside of you. They know, look, I'm not here on some tip of trying to talk about myself and put myself on a pedestal, but I'm a winner. I'm a winner. I knew I was a winner from young. I'm not just saying that, but you have to say these things and know these things. And when you're wired that way, it doesn't mean you can't have a knockdown. It doesn't mean that you can't take a loss, right? But when you're a winner, you're a winner. And sometimes you get knocked down in the rankings and have to fight all the contenders. Sometimes years go by, but you are a champion. If you don't think this way in this world with all the things coming against us, you're doomed. And the false bravado of just saying it and not feeling it and knowing it, you're doomed. You're not going to last. I know that there are good things for me. I laugh when I have the crabs in the barrel try to pull the wool over my eyes. I'm here right now. I've had to deal with a lot of adversity, a lot of betrayal. but I'm here right now. And the very fact that I'm shining is pissing a lot of crabs off because they can't do it like me. Now, am I up here bragging about myself or so big-headed? No, but there's nothing wrong with reaffirming what you know inside of you. Because when the tough times come and there's no reason around you to even know that you are a winner, you got to tell this thing to yourself. I'm right here. Ain't going nowhere. Might get a little delayed. But even those who come against you when they play their hand and you know who they are, what they're going to do, you walk by them with a smirk on your face. Why? Because you're a winner. But you got to get rid of this low self-esteem. You got to work on that. You got to know, you got to put yourself in very uncomfortable situations for growth. You're never going to grow in your comfort zone. You're never going to stay safe and say, well, you know, I'm going to try this next week. I'm going to wait for a month. Why are you waiting? You might not be here. Sense of urgency. Sense of urgency for something. For some of us, the only sense of urgency we have is when we have to run to the bathroom when we got to go real quick. That food hits you out of nowhere. You're like, oh, I got to get out of here now. We got to have that kind of sense of urgency in our personal lives. But we can't have the sense of urgency if we don't know what we're doing. We can't have that sense of urgency for ourselves where we're busy being a Venetian blind player, looking at the person next door to see what they're doing, how much money they have, what progress they're making. Then you're doomed. Then you're doomed. Then you will become a crab in a barrel because the low self-esteem will keep you from moving towards stuff. I could not go to bed last night. I was preparing the show and I was all into it. I said, this is going to be a good one. I have such good energy toward this. And again, do I have a script? No, I don't write scripts. This is spontaneous. The best conversations are the conversations you have when there's spontaneity. Like I always say, when you're not driving, but you happen to walk to the corner store or walk 2 or 3 blocks down to the store, and you come back and you have bags with you, and you walk past the house of a friend that you haven't seen in a while. Girl, how you been? That's not me saying it that way as if you're a female. My man, what's going on? I haven't seen you in a long time. And you start talking. And you know it's late afternoon. You look around, it's dark. Like, wait a second, I've been here talking here 2 hours. Man, that was a good conversation. You know why? Because it's from the heart. So all of these things I speak about is from experience and from the heart. But low self-esteem, you're going to have to really make an effort. I'm not saying to say that you're supposed to be condescending. No, never that. You're always supposed to be helpful. But you got to be careful who you help. Because the person that you're trying to rescue out of the swimming pool or drowning in the water is the very one who's going to pull you down. Crabs in the barrel. Okay, let me see here. Sister Oyala, my beautiful sister. I wish I can just amplify that avatar and show the world how beautiful you are. One day you got to come on live. One day. Julia Nasser, how are you? And of course, Denise Horn, you're here. Exactly. Look, what's she say now? That you don't have the energy to make that move. You have to. When you see a spaceship, when they're doing a launch, right? And you see how big the ship is, but you see how close the quarters are where the astronauts are. They don't take any excess with them. Does one of the astronauts take his Xbox? Does he bring his favorite couch to lounge on the spaceship? No, it's bare minimum. So when you have these people around you, not judging, but assessing. Not judging, but assessing. Brother Landon, you liked that when I said that the other day, but that's how I think. I don't judge. You judging me. No, I'm not judging you. I'm assessing you, and I know exactly what's in your heart. Judging is when you don't know. I'm going to keep saying it every show if I have to. Approximate from here to the wall. What is it about? Like 12 feet? Say about 11 feet, because you don't know. But when you have the tape measure and you can measure from where you are to the wall, you can say, you know what? It's actually 13 1/4 feet. You were pretty close. what you didn't know. You get pulled over by the cops and you know you've been going fast or a little bit over the speed limit. They pull you over and they tell you you're speeding. How? He's not guessing. He has that radar gun and he will tell you if it was 50 miles an hour limit in that zone and you were doing 65, you can't dispute that. So when you have a low self-esteem person around you who has a good heart, you can take your time and build them up and help them. You see what I mean? Take your time, build them up and help them. But we have low self-esteem folks out here who they don't want to change. They've given up on themselves and they let the low self-esteem consume them. And they're limited in their thinking. That's the crab in the barrel. The mentality, this is why you have to speak with people and see really where they are. They can see how you talk and morph into something similar to you to open your eyes that they're a good person, but they can have a dagger behind their back. If they see that you're a very spiritual person, one who likes to meditate, one who likes to be still, one who likes peace, one who is productive in their lives. And in their lives, they are chaotic, but they want to get next to you, not to learn how you are or pick up some of your enthusiasm, which is running over and you have no problem giving it to them. But they want to get next to you because who the hell you think you are to feel that you can achieve? Who the hell do you think you are that you're going to be confident, make progress this day? When I got these issues, I can't pay my bills. I don't want to get up and do anything because I'm so feeling bad from the bad food that I'm eating and the negative thoughts that are inside of me. How dare you want to shine? How dare you even think that you can take all the hours of daylight and produce something that no one else saw before? How dare you? Your positivity irks me. I'm a crab in the barrel and I'm going to reach and yank you back down. And when you get discouraged, I'm going to draw strength from that. Not strength to do anything good, but a negative strength to laugh at you when you fall. Because all the crabs in the barrel, they feel good when you fall, even when they're not the one to grab you and pull you back down. But see, even in the fact that they're focusing on pulling you down, their mind is arrested and they can't do anything negative. Even if you get pulled down by a crab in the barrel, just know that your mere thoughts of positivity to get out of that barrel is what irks them, and they could never have that as long as they're coming after you. This ain't no notes. I wish I could turn the camera around. I'm not going to do that because from the waist down, I have to take that camera and just kind of hide myself. I love air when it hits me in all these places, known and unknown. Too much information. But that's the truth. It's an energy thing, and you can't fake the energy. When you are positive and you are determined, when you're determined to do something, when you walk into the room, the energy could be felt. You don't have to be loud. You don't have to announce your presence. But the way you're vibrating, those in the barrel, and like I said, it does not have to be a physical barrel, but those in the barrel will look at you. They don't like you for who you are and what you have. And you're going to have to face that. You're going to have to face that. It's a lonely walk. But then see, positivity is not something that's common. I've learned. And I'm so glad to be where I am. I've learned so much has been revealed to me, and I can fly higher now that my so-called crabs that were around me can't touch me, and they've got to be frustrated. They got to be frustrated. It's got to be that way. And I'm like this, nah. Tomorrow I'm going to make progress. The day after that, I'm going to make progress. We're going to go higher. We're going to achieve more because we're out the barrel. And when you're in the barrel, that's not your fault. You see what I mean? It might be the barrel of living in the projects, right? Nothing wrong with the projects. You just can't have the project mentality take you over. So many people move out of the projects, and I'm only using that as an example, right? And they still have the projects in them. So no matter where they go, they're bringing drama. No matter where they go, they're going to tear it down because of the mindset that they have. So it doesn't matter where you are right now, as if you decide to stay there. So remember, you can build a nice little house and still be low-minded. And you will feel the weight of it because you'll realize that you're still a crab and you're still in the barrel. Still in the barrel. How sad that is. You can change your external. You can change your surroundings. But that's not going to change here and in here at the core. And if you have that low self-esteem and you don't want to identify it, you get around people who are going places. Going places doesn't mean you're going to go on a jet and fly somewhere else. But their life is on a positive trajectory and they have their lane, what they're doing. And if you don't have yours, whatever it is, it could be something so distant in relation to what you see this other person in their area of expertise, but you don't like them having it. You know how many people have tried to stop me from doing what I'm doing? Coming up smiling and, Lance, you're not in America anymore. You're in Africa. You need to stop all of this. Kick back and live your best life. This is what I love. There's other things that I love. These agents, these low self-esteem entities who have nothing going for themselves. They want you to sit down in the mental, spiritual, and emotional barrel just like them. As old as I am, and I can see that I'm aging. I can see little things under my eyes and whatever, and I haven't been getting that much sun. I've been staying up to when the sun comes up and going to sleep. I've been living like a vampire life. But wouldn't you believe? You could believe it or not. This is what I know. I am so enthusiastic for the time coming up. It's 60 years old almost, 2 months shy. I am so enthusiastic for 61, 62, 63. Man, it's like it's almost vast. And I know possibly there's more behind me as far as the chronological years than there is ahead of me. But now all of those lessons that I've learned, and this is what I want to tell you too. There's so many people that I know that their light has been snuffed out or almost snuffed out. You know, when you see the embers in the fireplace and you didn't put any more wood, it's just ashes. You got all the lights on. And when you cut the lights off, you say, hey, it's still kind of smoldering. And you might put something in there, another piece of wood before you go to bed, and the flame pops back up again. So you got to learn how to put that wood of enthusiasm in your life, that it's not over. But lots of times we think we're going to get enthusiasm and people believing or knowing and encouraging us. And lots of times they see a potential and they don't want it to grow. They don't want it to go. They literally hate you for your enthusiasm, because many people have accepted the fact that their light is snuffed out and they watch it go right on out. Like the knucklehead who told me I should live my best life and stop doing what I'm doing. This is what brings me and cultivates my life force. I have so much in my head, ideas, creativity, things that at the end of the day, I feel like I haven't done enough. For me, at the end of my day, when I close my eyes, whether it's a show or something in the background or an illustration or whatever, most of my time is done doing something. Mrs. SCURV stayed in from the garden today. She goes until she can't go no more. When I noticed that she was sleeping later and a little later, I'm like, man, she's usually up at this time and out the house. And I was still up. So when I realized that, I said, okay, she's going to stay home. She was quietly cleaning and doing all this stuff. I don't know what she's cleaning because the place is clean already, right? But that's her thing. So when I woke up, she continued to do what she did. I ate something and I set some things in the computer in motion, some files that I had to download and change the size and all the back end things you don't see, because talking and being on the show, that's party time. Most of my time, most of my hours are quiet. She might be asleep. I'm just doing my thing. clicking this, researching this, watching this tutorial, whatever. That's how you get better. I'm a student of this game. I'm not just some dude who wants to click a button and just talk and get the adoration or whatever have you, because I say some things that piss people off. But as far as not wasting time, at some point I was fed, I'm here. And she said, let's take a walk. I said, where you want to go? It had to be about 4:30, 4 o'clock. The sun here, we don't have daylight savings time here in Accra, in Ghana. It's one time, all the time. And I like that. You don't have to go through the changes and stuff. So around 6:15, 6 o'clock, between in there, depending on how the clouds are blocking the sun, it's nighttime, right? All the time. So I know this. So if I'm going to go on the rooftop and I say I'm going to talk for 30 minutes, I better be up there by 5:30 at least. If it's up in the day, the position of the sun, we do that. And I'm saying all that to say this, that in her saying she wanted to take a walk, I said, where are we going to go? She said, oh, we're just going to walk back around in this area. And this is not where our home is, our house is, but in this area, there's a lot of construction and folks take their time. You have folks in the UK, you have folks in America, you have folks in Turkey, Lebanon, whatever other country they're in, Dubai. And if they're building here and they're working people, they're taking their time. They have a trusted person here to do the construction and really look over the work. And they take their time. They might be on the job and say, you know what, I'm going to retire in 5 years. And we have the land, we have the permits and stuff. Let me send down a little money every paycheck or every month and get it done. So by the time that we're ready, it's not going to be with all the icing on the cake because you want to be there when you do that. So you're going to see a lot of homes. So what I said, I said, okay, let me grab my camera. But she knows me by now. I said, we're going to do a walk and talk. And it's on the computer now cooking up and you all see it. It's just like when we were up on the mountain and a breeze walking down. Good long conversation. You can hear everything and we're talking and getting down. I think you'll kind of like those. So I said, let's do this again in a different way. You're going to see some houses that are just, cinder block, a lot of stuff growing around it. But if you understand how when a person builds and the vision of what they see, you can see the beauty of it. Some of the areas, some people say, man, this is junky around here, man, on cinder blocks and whatever. And you see another house that's completed. You're like, whoa. And I'm going to tell you, especially for that one, right? I'm going to tell you, we walked and it was unexpected. And so I saw a house that less than a year, it was weeds and just open land, probably about maybe half an acre, but squared out, maybe 3/4 of an acre, 3 acres, right? But if you want to see this place now, a person that built that place could not have had low self-esteem or no vision. They had to know what they wanted. They had to know what it is that they needed, and they had to visualize it and make it happen. I was blown away. I have a videotape that I did walking through that neighborhood briefly. And actually, I didn't put it up because I was talking to this guy, asking him questions, and too many trucks kept going by and the sound was all messed up. But I think I'm going to dig for that because I know I didn't delete it out of the computer. I'm going to dig for that. And I'm going to try to show what that place looked like as opposed to now. So there was a gentleman standing there. He was building over the guard shack and how the lights come when the cars come. Really nice. And so we spoke to him for a little while. And we asked him, I said, can we come inside? Because we heard other guys in there working. And this is not like America where, oh no, you can't come on the job site or the construction site. You're not insured. Something might happen. You'll sue us. It's not like that. So yeah, come on, go on, look around. We could have tripped on something, fell. We wouldn't sue, not like that because we asked them, right? So now we walked around the place and saw the swimming pool, saw the interior, saw how it's not even finished and it's nice. And I had my camera. Opportunity. You better be ready when opportunity knocks. And not because it was such a spectacular, mind-blowing sight, but just to be able that we're walking and flowing and I know good things will come. This is why I stay strapped with my cameras wherever I go. And it wouldn't have been as nice of a walk if we didn't have that. And it was still a nice walk. But we walked in and went upstairs, went down and saw the huge kitchen area. And the way this bad boy was laid out was like, wow. And I went into my little rant. I'm like, listen, y'all, this is Africa. Don't let this pink parasite fool you and make you think that it's nothing but mud huts. You might go up in one of the villages where it might be a little poor, hundreds of miles away, and see that. And there's poverty in Accra too, just like it is in America. But the potential to not have to be forced to live in a cookie cutter situation with a white man, oh, yes, we have 5 models here. You pick from the 5. And 1/5 of the houses in your subdivision look just like you, like when you're in an apartment. Who wants that? They don't mind what you build if you have the mind to visualize. Because I know when I first got here, there were entities around me. Oh, you're not supposed to build anything big because the African people here might get insulted. What are you, crazy? No, that was a crab in a barrel who didn't want me to build something nice. They wanted to have it, but they didn't want me to have it. Crabs in the barrel can be anybody. Crab in the barrel could be your mama, could be your papa, could be your grandfolks, your aunt, could be your in-laws. They see your potential. It could be anybody. I'm not saying it's everybody, but it could be anybody. There are people who are in your life now that you don't even realize. Maybe not. Maybe, you're pretty wise and I know that you're keen here. This is a good chat room and good family here, right? But they're there subtly, not liking the positive trajectory. And just like when you see a stock, right, on that graph, and over the years it's going up and it's going up, but sometimes it goes down a little bit. And when it goes down, you don't give up on it. You're thinking long term that it's going to go up again, up again. So you will have little peaks and valleys, but make sure that it's not something flatlined. You will have obstacles. You will have things that come against you. That's what makes the struggle so nice, because you know it's a fight. You know something is out there trying to take from you, and you have the confidence and determination to weather the storm. And you know, after you live a little bit of this life, you know what you have inside of you. And right now, I get off on that. I'm not talking about getting off on it sexually. Positivity. That's in there too, right? I'm not getting off on nothing negative. Oh, damn, I feel so bad about myself. Oh, this feels so good. No. I'm crazy, right? No, but I get off on that. Like Joe Frazier, when he fought Muhammad Ali, and Muhammad Ali was hitting him with some blows, and he was like, yeah, and hit him so back because he was in the battle. He wanted to taste the battle. He wanted to feel the battle, because every fighter feels and they know in their heart that they are going to win, even though they will have to accept it when they don't. But you're not going to whip their spirit. And that's when the crabs in the barrel come after you harder, because they're mad at you because you got this thing. You got this light. It's like, damn, what can I do to stop him? You shouldn't be thinking about stopping me. You should be thinking about you doing your own damn thing. But there's no shortcuts out of the low self-esteem that fuels your crab in the barrel mentality. There's no shortcuts. You can't get away from it unless you deal with it and face it and say to yourself, I really need to change. I cannot be this person that's not going to ever have anything positive or go after things in a pure way. That's what keeps you around a long time. When you have secret motivations and hidden agendas that are not pure, your mission is not going to be complete, because you're doing things to compete with somebody else. Look, I remember when I was in bodybuilding, and I was in really great shape, and I would go to the gym the same time every day. So I would leave out of the house the same time every day. Whenever you're doing something, whether it's a hobby, whether it's a job, no matter what, the body works this way, where it works off of regularity. I mean, we'd like to have a little variety, right? You could break the mold sometime, but when you're training and you eat the same time, you can mix up the foods when you know the protein, carbohydrates, essential fats, vitamins, minerals, waters. You manipulate these things, but you have to get certain things. And when you do it on a regular basis, that rhythm in your body becomes stronger, because now it expects it. So now I would train the same time in the evening. I would leave the house at 5, a little bit before 5, and end up at the gym in Brooklyn, which is Queens, but I had to go through Brooklyn. It was right a block over to Brooklyn. Splitting hairs. I'd get there a little before 6. My training partner would be there waiting for me. And we have our routine that we do. And sometimes we do the routine, we do a little more, a little less, according to how we felt. Biorhythms, the way the body goes. Maybe you didn't get as much sleep, you don't have as much energy, whatever. But that's neither here nor there. Every time I left the house and I went through, it was 134th Street, went through the shortcut, came up 132nd Street, 132nd and Liberty, boom, there was a little apartment right there, a little house. Not a house, it just was, it didn't look like a house. It was a square structure, but people lived in there. This Puerto Rican guy. Much love to my Puerto Rican brothers and sisters, right? But this guy was a prick. He hated me so much. He would always come out there and wait. And I know this guy was doing push-ups or something. He wasn't a bodybuilder. And I wasn't into showing my body like that. If you saw me, you saw me. Now, if it was hot and I had a tank top on, he said, damn, look at this guy. He's built. This guy knew how I was built because the gym, another gym that we trained at was 1 block away, but I didn't train at that gym anymore. I went to one a little more advanced. And he would just be there and trying to flex up and make sure that I saw him. So this went on for months. And I said, why is this guy riding my DICK like this? It just baffled me that I was so important to him to come after me that way. And he had an attitude too. Why are you mad at me? Do what I do to look like I did at that time, and you can do it too. You might be even better. He didn't take what I did as inspiration. He took it as an envious thing. And again, like I say, my father always taught me several times a week, he'd say it. Well, not several times a week, but a week didn't go by without him saying it. He says, listen, envy is the flip side of motivation. If a person is around you and they're not motivated by what you're doing, even if it's not the same thing, it's envy. They might hide it. If your positive energy doesn't cause them to move in a positive fashion, then it's envy. It's the flip side of the same coin. And you can't see both sides of the coin at the same time. The only way you can do it is hold it in front of a mirror. Okay, I'm seeing the backside and I'm seeing this. That don't count. Throw it up, let it fall down and see what side it falls on. Envy is the flip side of motivation. If you have people around you that don't say, wow, that's nice. Wow, you're really doing good with that. And they think to themselves, they say, there's always something I wanted to do, but you inspired me. See, they don't have any problem saying that when they have a pure heart. But when they look off to the side and they want to do what you do and stop you from doing what you're doing and talking about what you're doing is going to die because I'm not there, then that's envy. And when they go off to do their own, it don't go nowhere. They go a little bit, but it don't go nowhere because they're not a student of the game and they're not truly operating out of a place of pure positivity. No crab in the barrel does that. And when you're a crab in a barrel and your purpose is to keep pulling people down, it's hard to get out of that mentality. So what do they say, right? Show me the 5 people around you. Show me your friends. I'll show you who you are. And other crabs hang with other crabs because crabs get together. They know they can't do anything because of that low self-esteem and they're basking and sauteed and simmering like food, fish, or chicken, beef in the juices while it cooks. So it's becoming more of what it is. And they see you not just in the muck and mire of what they are, and they see you flying free, happy. Not trying to prove yourself, not trying to put anybody down. Because when you feel good about yourself, you feel good when other people come up. Because if you're around me and you're those 5 people around me, I don't want you to be bums and leeches and gossipers and non-motivated people. I don't want to be around those people. Once you are revealed to me, and I know that's what you're all about, it's a death sentence for me. then I'm going to turn into a crab into a barrel. That ain't happening, number one. Lance is going to be Lance no matter where I am, and you're not going to stop me from shining. There are people who see what you can be when you shine, and they're very intimidated by that. I'm not trying to intimidate nobody. I want to be the best LANCESCURV that I can be. Just like you want to be the best Sister Oyala, the best AA Vibes, the best Indigo King, the best Great Man. You understand? You want to be the best person you can be. Denise Horn. I can't be Denise Horn. I can't be Indigo. He has special seeds of greatness inside of him that I want to see him cultivate. So let me help you, because I may need a hand up. You see, because when you're positive like that, you're the polar opposite of a crab in the barrel. The crab in the barrel is trying to bring you down. The positive person who wants to see the best in you is up there, not over you because he feels he's better. You may not be where you're supposed to be, but if he pulls you up and lets you go higher, hell, you might help me. Yo, Lance, man, you help me, man. You know, but you know what, in this game, especially this YouTube game, there's a lot of entities out here that don't think that way. Look at her. Somebody wrote me a note, a comment. Was it yesterday? Oh, you're too old to be on the internet so much, and you are this, and you're too old. I said, listen, brother, I made it to this point. I can do what I want to do with my day as long as it's positive. Am I hurting anybody? Am I stealing from anybody? Am I manifesting some type of positivity out of this? Look, man, what I got to do? Work till I'm 80 years old? Yeah, I get a little piece of check each month. It ain't as much as I want it to be, but guess what? It affords me to be able to relax a little more and pursue other things, as opposed to being caught up in the system and toiling and working and toiling and working. Earning is where it's at. So when you're in the system on a job, you may have to put a couple years in on that job. But while you're in on that job, get your connections. You see, you're in that position where people will trust you just from what you do. When I worked in corrections, when I drove the bus also, people knew me and knew my integrity from me being on the bus and the conversations we had. So this is why a Denise Horn may be here. I know her from Orlando, going way back. I don't have to worry about her character or integrity. If she was to come to Ghana, I say, come on, here's the keys, here's the car, here's the security code, here, hell, here's my card, here's my, you know what I mean? Because there's a trust that has been earned, and you know. So in that, I'm powerful, right? It's not just me. It's who's, I'm not saying behind me like I'm in front of them, but in my world, I'm spearheading my path, and there are people with me who may be behind me to help push. And when it's time to push them, I turn around and push them. You take a piece of toilet paper and you roll it out a little bit and you let the toilet paper hang, right? And you hold it up. And I go and I'm about to hit it. Pow! I don't even have to put that much force into that, because the toilet paper has nothing behind it. It's frail on its own. But if you take that toilet paper and hold it up in front of a brick wall, a cinder block wall, a concrete wall, hold it up, go and punch it down. All right, nothing but a piece of toilet paper. Pop! Ooh, I done broke my hand, man. What's up with the toilet paper? You don't even see the brick wall behind it. So you got to understand that when you brace yourself into the positivity, the universe opens up, not automatically, not overnight, but you will have forces that are out there that will aid you when you move toward that growth and positivity, visions and goals. Nothing can stop you when you know that you're going to get it. How are you going to make this journey and achieve these things if you really, because it's not going to be easy. It's not, oh, just think positive and it just comes to you. No, you think positive. That's the very time in its infancy where these entities come to you to try to snuff you out. Lots of times it's those that are closest to you. That's why you have to get rid of them, or they get rid of themselves. But for all those who have shown themselves to be negative in my life, thank you so much. You freed me of your negativity and your toxic shit. And I'm going to fly high. Don't look at me, though, because you're going to get pissed. because I'm a winner and I'm going to make it. And I say these things again to rouse you up in positivity. To hell with the negative people. They keep coming around, trying to bring you down, trying to drag you back down, and you're supposed to sit there and be nice? And they expect you to be nice. Like, I'm going to be straight negative on you, and you have to take it. No, I don't have to take it, because I'm going to shit some positivity on you too, right on back. My positivity is stronger than your negativity and your low self-esteem behind. Yes, there are people out here, and my heart goes out to them, who suffer from low self-esteem because all their lives their parents said negative things to them. All their lives their brothers or friends said negative things to them. Sometimes they've been through some trauma. You know, we have our sisters who have suffered through so much trauma, and our brothers too. But our sisters who may feel they're not attractive enough. And then because they don't feel that, it may reflect in how they look, because, hey, I'm going to eat all this bad food. I'm not going to take care of myself. And then they manifest what they're feeling on the inside. Now, those are the ones I feel sorry for. So when we say low self-esteem, I'm not against you if you're suffering from that sincerely. That's not your fault. I'm talking about the people who are sitting up here, have an equal chance to accomplish something, and they're venomous at you. Then we got a problem, because I'm a warrior and I'm a fighter, and you ain't gonna whip me with this thing. Like I say, I'm gonna steamroll you, and I get amped up. I'm like, oh, really? You think I can't do this? You're telling me I can't do this? You running around and saying all this stuff and running your mouth a certain way? I'm gonna show you that. Not because you rule me and I'm gonna do something that you said I couldn't do. It's something that I already set myself to do. I have nothing to prove to somebody with the low self-esteem, crab in the barrel mentality. I have nothing to prove to you. I am who I am. Me just being and shining my light like you all shine your light in your life. This is a conversation for positive people to reinforce the positive things in a negative world. You know what's going on in this world. There's too much negativity out here, and especially us as Black people. We're not supposed to rise or see ourselves in any kind of way. We're not supposed to see ourselves ruling over things. And I'm not talking about no prosperity preacher bullshit. Because half the time he draining your pockets and selling you a dream. I'm talking about you. And it's not about just materialism. I'm not saying that. But if you do or have accomplished things in a material world that was driven by a spiritual positivity and a spiritual health, I'm not mad at you. We're supposed to do better on all levels. So if you do suffer from low self-esteem of something that was inflicted on you, I would love to help you and encourage you. Because like I always say, and people can't say I don't say it, we all have the seeds of greatness inside of us. We have people that want to distract us and keep us from knowing that and keep us distracted. You see, it's like two fighters. And if you have a fighter that has a good jab, pop, pop, the jab thrown at you regularly keeps you off balance and keeps you from mounting your attack. So they'll say he's into his rhythm. He's breaking your rhythm. We have many people around us that we want to go to the gym. We want to eat clean. We go shopping. Well, come on, girl, let's go. I'll treat you to the fried pork tonight. And you don't want to eat that stuff. You plan on going to the gym. You're starting the gym tomorrow. And they don't want to do that. But I have people around me that don't want to do the things that I do, but they're not negative on me. That's just not their thing. So we can't mistake it a person who doesn't want to do exactly what you want to do as a negative person. See, there's so many filters that we have to go through, but you have to have your own time to yourself. You have to be able to be still, and you have to be able to know what's around you. And lots of times you can't just automatically look at one sign and say, this person's this way. You got to observe them over time. And they will give you signs. And oftentimes they will give you obvious signs. But once they degrade into a certain space, you know who they are. And again, I say the best revenge once you get out of the barrel, because you will physically get out of it. Mentally is the issue. Emotionally is the issue. And you don't see these crabs, they can attach themselves to you on an emotional level. where you feel a certain camaraderie with them, even though you know they're not up to par in their life and you didn't realize yet that they were a crab on you. So you feel indebted to always come around. Well, you know, I'm doing good right now. They may not be doing as good right now, but you know, I gotta go. I can't forget where I come from. And they'll say that too. You can't forget where you come from. Hell yeah. If I got up the barrel, I'm not going back. The only way I'll go back is there's somebody suffering from the esteem that keeps them there and they really want to get out. Success begets success. Even if you've been beat up all your life. I made some very bad choices in my life. Certain relationships, certain endeavors, being around certain people. So I speak from experience. But I'm not going to sit here, oh, back in 1982, I did this. And back in 1978, I did. Them are some faraway numbers, man. I'm looking like, I remember New Year's of 78. Like, man, New Year, I'm in it. 78, been gone. 82, been gone. 95, been gone. I remember all of this stuff in my head. Like I said, I got some extra gigabytes because the creator gave me a bigger head, so I got more storage space. Right? I remember all of this. I remember the people who are negative and those who are positive, and the people who have affected my life. And it's like, okay, they may be gone now, transitioned, moved away, lost contact. You run into them on Facebook again or YouTube, whatever it is. And you say, wow. So you have the right that after going through so much in your life, even if you're only 18 years old, you're there already. Maybe it took me a little longer. Maybe I trusted so many people and, you know, embraced them thinking that they were on the same wavelength. No. Maybe they will be, maybe they're not. But I have my own path and you have your own path. Stop letting these people dupe you into thinking there's some kind of, you know, magic connection with you. Just say, if they're going to be there, they're going to be there. If not, that's the Creator's will, and that's what it is. But I have my path to go down. I have to leave this earth, transition to another level on my own. I don't care if I was born a twin or a triplet and look exactly like them. Imagine that. 2 LANCESCURVs. It wouldn't be 2 LANCESCURVs, 3 of them. Imagine that. But I don't have to imagine that. I'm 3 in 1 anyway. I'm 10 in 1 anyway. You keep yourself ready, polished, fueled, in the right mindset. Like a fighter in solitude training. Look at that, look funny, right? Look at this. This one's broke. This one's straight. I keep forgetting. I look at it like, whose hand is that? But never let anybody leak out your energy, reduce you from what you are, and play them games. This is a very serious life. We can have a lot of fun in it. You all know I like to have a lot of fun, like to laugh, tell jokes, tell funny stories, even if I got to make fun of myself. But it is a very serious thing, and I cannot sleep until I can tell myself, what did I do toward my mission overall today? Even when I rest, but I got to do something, right? Because you create this momentum, which makes it easier. And I always compare it to when you move into a new house or a new apartment or a new place that your ankle itching. That's what I'm like this. My ankles, this better not be a mosquito in here, right? This is the ankle he's biting. But at first, when you go to this place, this new place, yo, I have a new apartment. And when you feel around for the light switch, you feel around for it on the wall because you know it's generally in this area. You're new there. But you live there a couple months and you go there, open the door in the dark. You take your one finger and you know exactly where it is. Bing! You didn't have to feel around on the wall anymore. So as time goes on, you know what you're all about. When time goes on, you know your gifts, your talents, your weaker or not up to par parts that you need to work on, there should be a momentum that's going on in your life now, where it's like a car rolling down a hill without being cut on. It's gaining that speed and momentum. And the more momentum you have, it's harder to stop. It becomes habit now, the practices that you do and indulge in for your success. It's easier now. And you'll have some people, as you're rolling down the hill as that car gaining momentum, some folks want to stop and talk. It's not always for you to stop and talk at that particular time. You got something to do, you have to be very serious about it, even when those around you don't understand. I knew something was up when I was driven to come online. And I said, I don't know. I'm coming online. I'm going to draw these little pictures, write these little articles, but I know it's going to lead me into something. And to know all of the people that, it's not a popularity thing, but to know that your efforts in solitude, like a woman who's pregnant and has a baby inside of her, and she might be impoverished, but that baby is born and comes out into the world to do great things. And so when she sees her child get older and accomplish things in the world that can help change the world, she realized that she had greatness inside of her. And this is what you have to know, no matter what state you're in. And yes, I'm talking about our sisters who are pregnant. You may be in a situation where right now, let's just be real and talk real. You might be somewhere on crack. You might not know who the daddy is because you've been turning tricks. No condoms, raw dog. Thank God you didn't catch nothing. Your knees are dirty from the acts that you're performing on men to make ends meet and to get that crack. And you know that you should not be taking these drugs with the child inside of you. And you find some kind of way to stop. And sometimes you relapse and go back. But then as you get away from those, the crab in the barrel, and get out of the barrel physically in this way, and you feel a little shamed, and maybe your esteem is a little messed up as you get around people who are very positive, but they see the greatness in you. This is why it's important to get around people who are doing things. I don't want to be around somebody who's drinking and puffing the weed and, I'm going to live my best life. That's your best life? What kind of life did you live? What kind of life did you live? That's your best life? Your standard is that low? And they hating on you because you already something productive in whatever it is. And those are the people who are dangerous because they will smash you when you're a sapling, when you're a little something busting out of the soil, growing. And they see, oh, that's going to be an oak tree? Man, we're going to smash this thing because they know an oak tree is so strong. And they don't want to see you pass them while they sit there and just whatever. I can't deal with do-nothings. Do-nothings. Who sometimes talk a good game and want to amp you up and hitch their cart onto your horse. Oh yeah, we can start a business and you can put a restaurant there and I can put a gas station here. And you're like, yeah, let me get the permits for this. Yeah. Well, I don't have all the money. Don't worry about it. So. And you said, well, I don't have, and they get in the business because they see you as a source and they hating you at the same time, because if they know they can't stop you as a crab in a barrel, they're going to hold on to you until you pull them out. But they still a crab. So now they'll use you. You got a lot of crabs in the barrel that got out the barrel, but they still crabs. Think about that. Like I said before earlier, you have people who are crabs who have made it. I've known crabs who have millions, but they hate to see you with what you do because they know that trajectory. And if this guy keeps this up, but you got money. We know it's not all about money because some of these people have money and they just as screwed up in the head as anybody else. They may have all the fine raiment and material goods and stuff, and they're looking at you and they're mad at you. I knew some people back in Orlando They would come over to the house. We weren't living any better than anybody else, technically middle class, working more than one job. Have that one day off and you tired. You still got to do some chores around the house. I remember the SCURV worked so hard. I remember one of her jobs after her main job. And I drive the bus 11 hours a day when I was out there, 11 hours, y'all. And I would meet her for that particular cleaning gig in that day spot. I'm putting it out there. I'm telling her what like it is. I finished maybe like 1:30, get over there. She done been there from 12. Here I am mopping in the bus driver uniform. See, people don't see that. They don't want to see that. Then come home and do a 2-hour live show from 3:30 on to whatever, or whatever time. If I was too tired, I would get up early before and do another live with a different shirt on and the bus driver shorts on, everything. The shirt's right there. I leave the house or stop the show 3 minutes before it's time for me to leave. My lunch is packed. I just change the shirt, grab my bag, hop in the vehicle, and get there on time because I knew how to read the lights. But people don't see that. I would be at a layover at Washington Shores. It was a longer layover into the night. And I'm sitting here on my phone writing an article, just writing. Maybe I have to stop and on the next layover, write a little more, and have an article. Oh, how you do so much? So for that fool who says, oh, you're too old to spend that much time, this is not stressing me. I can do a little bit and lay down, get up, but this is what I do. Don't ever let nobody stop you from doing what's in your heart to do. And the main motivation for this is not money. Yeah, I got a new Cash App. Make it easy on me, help me out, fine. I'm gonna give my time. To the young lady that gave me some cash in PayPal, I'm already setting up to go to the hospitals and talk to them to tell you about how the healthcare system is going on here. If I'm here, I can help, fine. That would help with some fare and, getting around, whatever. I've done things. Y'all know who've been around for a long time. There are people who have needed stuff, and I might have gotten some PayPals and Cash Apps like, yo, and y'all don't even know who it is. You don't know when I did it, but y'all know who you are. I'm not saying this to show I'm such a good guy, no. But when you are not the crab in the barrel, you don't mind pulling somebody up. People have pulled me up. So therefore, we can't always focus on the crabs, but we have to know who the crabs are to know who to avoid. You take your crab ass mentality and let it eat you up like acid. You have to be strong in this thing. You can't be soft in this thing. They're trying to kill you. They might not try to physically kill you, but they want to kill your spirit, which is in essence killing you. I don't have it in my heart to kill anybody. I got too much life in me. But these crabs, that's what they're all about. That's why they're built the way they are. Got them big, I'm gonna grab you. Like we morph according to how we live. Over the millions of years, we morph into that. So crabs, they're gonna grab something. They named it right. When you look and you see one crab trying to get out, he's gonna grab and pull. He's not pushing you up to get to the top and say, pull me up. He sees you getting almost out and going somewhere, and he's gonna try to pull you down. And we have too many shapeshifters in our lives, too many shapeshifters in our world, that sometimes in our infancy, in our development, in our perception and ability to discern the spirits around us, we believe the facade. We believe what they show to us. So you believe every little kid that looks like Spider-Man that comes to your house knocking your door for candy on Halloween, you know what it is. It's a little kid. He has a costume on. When we get older and we put costumes on, we know we're not crap on the inside. We know we got things to work on, but we're not going to work on ourselves. We're going to be in denial about that. So we'll pretend and hate on you. If you hate on me from a distance. I'm going to keep on shining. Can't you see? I ain't stopped. Ain't miss a day. I know you're mad at that. I mean, these are specific people I'm talking to. And you have to talk to them. You have to let them know, I know who you are. When you do deal with them, don't put too much energy. Let them know. Boy, they will run. They see you and run. Your very presence and id. They see you and scatter. They see you and scatter. Let me get out of here. He's here. It already shows you what you are. They can't take being around you with your glow. It doesn't mean you're trying to exude all of this. Just you being who you are. Quiet. You see them, you get in the corner and you chill because they know what you're about. They can't take it because your light shines on them and makes them see what they are. See, they can play pretend all they want everywhere else and try to convince other people. It's amazing when people try to tell other people how bad you are, how evil you are, and they're the ones who are like that. They work hard to go, I'm not running nobody down anyway. So you running around here saying all this stuff because you know what's inside of you and you don't want to be revealed. If they think that, fine. If they think it, fine. I probably will never see them because I stay to myself. So you try to set things up so you look good. But it's funny because the truth always comes out. It's funny. You ain't got to do a thing. When people try to smear your character, the crabs in the barrel, well, I think back in the day he was selling drugs, or I think he had too many girlfriends. So what about you? I tell mine. I never used no drugs. I never sold no drugs. I never did no crime like that. No. I've defended myself a couple times and busted up my hands, ended up in the hospital for a week, bust a guy in his mouth and it was infected, and that's where all these scars come from my knuckle. That one right there, look at that there. That was way back here, and man, after that, then I have one here, whatever. After that, it's like, I ain't punching nobody, I'm gonna kick you. I'm gonna kick you. I was in the hospital for a week. This guy, his teeth were knocked out, but he was all right, he was free. Yeah. So you can't really roll around with these types. You touch and go. You know what it is? Get out. Because it's a gain for them for you to roll around in the dirt with them to go back and forth. They gain and you lose. Because they say, yeah, he's giving me attention. He's reacting, which will lend credence to all the negative stuff I said, because if it wasn't true, he wouldn't be coming at me this way. Just let them go. Just stay over there, though. Don't come in my private space, right? Because now we got problems. I'm going to have to bust your ass, give your ass whipping. Physically, yes. Defend yourself. You have the right to a great life the way you want to form it. And too many of us feel like, oh, I can't. No, claim your life. Do you know how many people that are on their deathbed, if they have the luxury of a deathbed? What do I mean by luxury? What do you mean luxury and death? What you talking about, SCURV? Meaning that you know you are going to transition. A couple weeks, couple months, but you know you're on your way out of here. That is a luxury because you can make amends with so many things that you had to deal with, and so many people do, and they realize I could have done this when I was younger. I could have thrown out this junk and dealt with it when I was younger, but you can't hide it. And it comes down to a bottleneck where you have to face these things because death is real. Transition is real. And all this baggage you've been carrying, you're just not going to get out of here and just leave the baggage. Nope. You got to face it. And some people have certain experiences. I can't vouch for it. Me, I've heard a lot. They're laying there and they're seeing people from their past. They're talking to them. They're dealing with certain things that they should have dealt with years ago, that they wronged certain people and they would talk. Yeah, it's not always a pretty thing. Everybody's sitting around holding the hands of loved ones and their old grandmama. She passed away so beautifully and peaceful. Why do you think when so many people are transitioning and they have the luxury of a deathbed, they damn hateful? Because that's the life they lived. Even when they hid it from you and acted so nice, You see what happened to great grandma? Why she great grandma cussing you out like a sailor? Great grandma never cussed before in front of you. And she cussing like a sailor. Damn, Alpha, you son of a. What's she talking about? Why is she, start getting sexual? Oh, grandmama's telling you what they did back in the day. Yeah, I was screwing your uncle. Oh my God. Nobody, and you see the other family members, you're like, listen, just she's off. She's out of it. No, I'm not. I did it. Damn it. I never liked you anyway. You know what I mean? So think about all these things they carrying as a crab, never dealt with this stuff, and they can't transition freely. I want to deal with my stuff. I want to talk it out. I don't mind telling y'all. I don't mind thinking about it. I want to fly free here, and I want to transition light. Like when you travel light. These people who have these issues all their lives, when they have unchecked low self-esteem, the evil low self-esteem, again, not the kind that was inflicted on you in the wiring and the imprinting when you were a child or younger, and it affected you and you feel bad. You're not evil. You just, my heart goes out to you. Those types who have that kind of low self-esteem, I will talk to you for hours every day. You can hang with me. I'm going to encourage you. I'm going to take you under my wing, and you're going to be a winner, because how dare somebody do that to you? And you're hurting on the inside. That kind of low self-esteem I can deal with. I want to deal with that. That's part of the work that we're supposed to do. If you see somebody who needs that jump start on the side of the road, symbolically, you're supposed to stop and you're supposed to help them. See? But when you're evil, want to bring me down? No, I got too much work to motivate other people. No matter what it is that you do. You could be a doctor. You could be a cashier. Damn, you could be a damn prostitute with positivity in you. I've met prostitutes that had positivity in them. Don't write off the old whore. Oh, she's just a whore. You don't know why she's doing what she's done. It's maybe not the right choice of things to do. But I've met some beautiful whores that the world would say and call them that. Remember, what was it back? 97, 98, 99. When I had my van in New York City, I used to drive the commuter van. Made a lot of money doing that too. Met a lot of wonderful people. And I know now why I had these things where I always met all these people and I got all these stories. People say, man, Lance, you lying, man. You got too much stuff that happened. You drive a dollar van in New York City back in those days in the 90s for one day. You got about 50 stories at least to talk about, and you forget some of them. Well, there was a stripper that I grew up with, and she's a little younger than me. I've told you this story before. Some of you, I'll tell it again, really brief. And she was going to Jersey, and she was late, and she was going to go to the strip joint. And I didn't know exactly what she was doing, but I know movements like she's leaving out here late and come back in the wee hours and whatever. So she revealed to me what she did, and she asked me if I can keep that quiet. I said, that's how I survive. I don't have drama around me like that. I know a lot about people's lives, and I can cause World War III worse than what could happen now if I was to reveal that, but I don't do that. There's one or two people I might be super tight with, like, yo, you know what's up? I won't even say the name. But no, nobody comes on this channel and says, okay, let me see here. We'll deal with that in another show. When I flow on the show, I have to keep on flowing. Use the maturity approach. What's your take on the updated Colorado farmers? I have to really look into that even more so, because that's not something I've heavily followed. I touch on it. I research and look at a lot of things every day. When I wake up at first, I always say, okay, let me see what's going on out in the world. Not just because the mainstream media puts it out, but I go to other sources. I go to other people in the know for certain things, and I'll take 10 or 15 minutes and just put it in my head and let it saute and simmer and saturate. And then I'll say, okay, what am I going to talk about? Maybe it's something like this. Maybe it's something where it's an incident or a person. Maybe it's something goofy. Maybe it's just some comedy one night. It just comes from the heart. So I really can't focus on that right now when I have this particular topic, but I'll consider it. Thank you. And if anybody wants to send me anything on some kind of story locally that's not being covered, send the email to lance@lancescurv.com. I'll make it scroll across the bottom. Let me see if I can find it. Okay, here's my particulars here. And of course, I've covered over the phone number with the phone numbers there. You can call me directly from the United States. I'm in Accra right now. It's not going to incur any long distance charges because it's a call through an app. It's just like I'm down the block around the corner. You can also call me on WhatsApp. I prefer that too, because if you want to send pictures or want to send files, you got to send it through there. Anything I get when you call me directly from America, it goes in as a text message, right? And it goes to my email, right? So if you send some long text message, it's going to chop it up. So WhatsApp is better, but you can still send me stuff and call me straight that way. And I made it that way because I didn't want to lose that phone number. I had that phone number for a long time, right? But yeah, this young lady had me take her out there, and I got to know a lot about women. I knew a lot about women before. I don't lump them all into one thing. It's not a one size fits all thing. But a woman and women, because I met other women who needed to get rides from that place in Jersey. Then after a while, it's like I was doing that all the time. I left from doing the van driving on the street. So I was in the streets all day long for years. I got a hell of an education in New York City then back in the 90s, just dealing in the streets, seeing the crime, seeing the drugs, seeing the creeping and the people getting thrown out and fights and the cops doing dirty work and all that stuff. All day. I didn't need cable. I cut the cable. Why I need cable? I got the real thing. Like when you watch those Vice programs or those undercover things, and it's like, wow, this is a different world. That was my life every day. And I was prepped for that by my father teaching me the world and life, how it is. So I'm watching stuff and just absorbing it. But I got to know those young ladies, and some of them were troubled. Some of them were younger. Some of them were getting up in age. I'm not saying they were 40 or 50, but they were, 20s coming up. You don't have a long shelf life in that world when you're doing stripping and part-time prostitution. I wasn't anybody's pimp. I just drove them from here to there, and they trusted me. And so guess what? When we went out of state, Virginia together, and went here for a week, you bond with them and you get to know them, and they confess things to you. You're like their uncle, you're like their older brother, you're like the father they never had, even though I was much younger then, and you can't just write somebody off because of what you see them doing at that particular point in their life, because we all have a lot of choices to make. You see, a lot of choices and a lot of crossroads, because we don't know what's going to go up on that road. But if you have a pure heart, and you're sincere. And I used to see a lot of these guys like talk down to them, whatever. Yeah, you're going to get that. A lot of these young ladies had no help from nobody. They were hurting. They were traumatized from young. And they felt that they didn't have a choice. And maybe the opportunities weren't there and they went and did that. But I know a lot of them have gone on to clean away from that world and become successful out of that. And they weren't crabs. They had issues with low self-esteem. They did everything right. They took a couple knocks in life, got hurt, and they went into that. So even if you are a prostitute in the street, doing what they do, I don't have to say it, there's hope for you to do better. And you will have crabs in the barrel in that profession and around you. You'll have dudes who will quickly lay in the bed with you and pay you a little bit of money, even though half of them are trying to get over for free. And they will tell you, you ain't nothing but a whore. You were sucking my so-and-so 2 months or 2 years ago. Don't come up on me new. We already know what you are. And you are not that. You went up a road that you chose to go up. At that time, you made a decision, but there's nothing that can't be washed away from you. Don't let no Negro or don't let no nigger try to make you believe that that's all you are. And they'll put you down and keep you in that place, but they want to use your body for their twisted pleasure. They're not trying to lift you up. They're trying to keep you there because even they feel bad about themselves. When you feel good about yourself and you're positive and you know what you're all about and you know what you've been through and you can identify and say, hey, listen, there's more to this person's story than meets the eye. Let me see how I can help them. You're going to be the anti-crab in the barrel. You're trying to pull up because of your positivity and your confidence and your strength. And yes, when you are that, you have to feed into yourself because you will have entities and energies trying to suck from you. So you can only give when your cup runneth over. So when you do for yourself, you're actually keeping yourself ready and primed to help someone else when they reach or they cross your path. Now, don't be a fool and run out. I'm just going to run and because there are people who use you who are not sincere. Oh, I'm hurting, please help me. So they can save their money to do what they want to do for themselves, and you think you're helping them out of a hole, but they're playing you. The spirit will talk to you when you run across these situations. You have to spend time to yourself. That's the biggest thing that these people and these crabs in the barrel don't want you to do. They don't want you to spend time to yourself to hone your gift of discernment so you can look right through them. They want you always around groups and noise, and you can't get a hold of yourself to be able to assess what's going on. You're confused. No. When you're at peace with yourself and you're balanced and you're doing what it is that you need to do to keep yourself at a peak good health. People say healthy. What does it mean? What fitness and health? What does it mean? It means to be able to move about the earth effortlessly with a minimal of pain, with a minimal amount of discomfort, that you're working on an optimal level. So we have the physical health, and then we have the mental health. We have the spiritual health. Those three things, and they blend also, emotional and mental, spiritual and emotional. See, physical and spiritual. It's a fact that when you have an ailment, a physical ailment, something outside of the atmospheric toxic air that you may breathe that may cause a cancer or something, but when there's an ailment, it's usually tied into something emotional and spiritual. There's an element of the emotional and spiritual that made that ailment happen. So this is why sometimes people can come out of the ailment for a time, and unless they heal up other ways, they go right back into it. Even if it's just a digestive issue, even if it's just some type of, libido issue. You're a healthy young man, but things are just might be some emotional and mental. And we get older and things happen. We're made to wear out. We not run down, but we expire. That's the word I want to say. We just expire. That's the way to go. Just like when you're driving and you think you get a full tank of gas and your gas meter says half, but it's really broken and you ain't got no gas, and you start pumping, what the hell? And you start slowing down and you checking there's no gas in there. That's the way it's supposed to go. We should not go through some type of ailment. There's much more to that than meets the eye, because in Western medicine, they just deal with that. If I got a problem with the finger, we dealing with the finger. But the finger is showing you that there's something else going on. So we need to think about that. So many of us who go to the gym and work out and our bodies look right, a lot of us may not be right internally. But you'll throw off on the person out there who's whoring around a little bit to make some money to feed their kids and put them through school, and you're condescending. So you a crab right there. Like I said, crabs don't have to be poor people who will drag you down into poverty or whatever. They could be people who are accomplished. They could be professors, lawyers, doctors, somebody who has a business and making lots of money, and they see your potential and they don't want you to pass them whatever way they think is passing, because that's sick thinking. We're all individuals, and success is there for all of us if we claim it. But some people don't want anybody to, no, I must control this. I am the leader. I must control this. Fool, you don't control me. I had one person call me and tell me something that I can and can't do. And you know how I did? I stroked his ego. I was like, yeah, you're right, man. You the leader. You're right. Think they're stopping me? I don't even fight with these people. Go ahead. Make my own connections and do my own wheeling and dealing. I got to sit here like some little preschooler waiting on some next person to take orders from them. You crazy? I run circles around you. You know what's in this brain? See, sometimes I act stupid and fool people. He always telling jokes and making fun of himself and telling jokes with it. And I'm steady got my eye on the prize. That's when people come at you. They're amazed at how you can stay grounded. See, I got good balance because I used to ride that unicycle. That's like training. So you hit me, I'm not going to fall too fast or hard or off balance. I don't mean just physically hit me with something of a surprise that you want to throw me off on a heavy. No. You hit me, I'll come back with something. You see what I mean? Don't be in shock when somebody does a kamikaze surprise attack on your life. Surprise them right back and be just as vicious. Damn, I ain't know. Bust me in my mouth so fast, I didn't know. Yeah. Because see me, this is not bragging. This is not, I'm going to say it this way. I'm the most vicious person that I know. I mean, vicious on all levels. You choose how the viciousness is going to come out. You put your hands on my wife, you're going to see another type of vicious. You're going to end up in the hospital and feelings hurt. I'm going to make you feel so low, right? You help me with something I love viciously. This is what I mean. Not try to be some gangster, but you choose what type of viciousness that I have. If I say I have to write 5 articles a night and do 2 videos that are an hour each and I'm tired and I want to do it, I'm going to do it. Because I know I have a mission and I know what I do affects people in my own little way. I'm not trying to be this, some pastor, some big whatever. Nah, I'm just one of the dudes who's sharing what was put into me. I have a lot of experiences, a lot. But I'm going to wrap it down. It's been about an hour and a half. Yeah, I've been up a lot these nights. I can run on my mouth for the next 5 hours. I could. Yes, I can. And just want to say how nice it is to vibe this way. We're going to continually upgrade the platform. I got some things in motion. Just going to keep on going higher. I looked at some of my old videos the other day and I was like, oh my God, the sound was so terrible. Hold on, man. Look at the camera. Oh, man. But when you know you have something that you're doing that is going to grow and you know it, you may take a few bumps. It may take a little time for you to get there. You might be low on money and say, hey, I got to wait a little bit to get this. But as long as you keep your eyes on the prize, trust me, you're going to make it there. Just know that I love you all. We're going to throw a little music on. I do have a few things I have to touch up on maybe for an hour, but I'm going to hit the bed early tonight because brother man been dogging himself, for real. I have been dogging myself. But it's all good because this is what I love to do. But don't let Satan take it where the things you love to do, he turns it against you and uses it to destroy you. That's what you got to watch out for, you know. Bottom line is keep on trucking, keep on making it happen. LANCESCURV out. I will see you tomorrow, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and across 10 p.m., but I never say that time. All of my peeps on the East Coast and in America, and even over here too. Me and Mr. SCURV were walking down the street and it's like, I know you, I know you. I was like, wow. It's good when you put that positive vibe out. And there's some people who look at you with the side eye. Doesn't matter to me. It's all positive. If I can fulfill my destiny and do what I have to do on this earth, I'm happy and I'm not afraid of this thing called death because I'm in my lane and I'm happy from where I stand. So me a little music on. Let's wrap this down. I'll look at the chat room a little bit and I'll answer you all back. And y'all can call in sometime too. You know, I got the line set up. So let's see who's going to call in tomorrow during the show. And a lot of times, like at night, I have to cut my phone off because it rings all night. If I'm up, I'm going to answer it. But if not, I got to make sure to get some sleep. Much love to you.